summertime and you're looking for a nice hairstyle for your child, this is the perfect video for you so you can get some ideas. So let's get into it. Hey, welcome back to my channel. If you stumbled across this video, that means that you're looking for, like a braiding style for your child. So you've come across the right channel. This allowed me to push my braiding skills. I am self-taught, but hey, we're going to get there. This is a cute summer style. Starting off with the products that I use, everything will be listed in the description box. I'm telling you, I'll be detailed with what I use. I usually tend to have wide tooth combs because I don't want to hurt, my little cousin while I'm doing her hair and pulling and everything. Now, we didn't end up using the TRESSemè shampoo and conditioner. We ended up using something else, which you'll see later on, but I'll still have that listed because we use it. And we can't forget a shampoo shield because we are trying to give the full experience. Okay, so starting off, I did have to unbraid her hair and make sure I detangled it. So this is the process that you're seeing here. Take your time whenever you're detangling hair. You don't want to hurt them. After that got done, we had to make sure to wash the hair. This is what I ended up using, the Dove line. This is new. They got a shipment and I'm like, oh shoot, okay, it came just in time. We could use that. Now I know you remember back in the day when your mom was washing your hair in the kitchen sink. Okay, doesn't that bring back memories? But she loves this part. She loves how the water feels, the temperature and everything. So I just made sure to try to give her that experience of washing her hair. Make sure you get all in there. Make sure that the hair is well soaked with water and you give that scalp a really good scrub. All right, now after I've shampooed her hair, I made sure to rinse the hair really well. Make sure all that shampoo product is out. What I really did like about the Dove product is how it made her hair feel after the whole process. It made it feel really soft. So after I get that done, I use the conditioner. What you'll see later on is I like to let the conditioner sit for about 10 minutes. I do that with myself personally. I'll leave it in there when I'm doing my hair or washing my hair. I like to leave the conditioner in there for like about 10 to 15 minutes. I like to use a good amount of conditioner. I am not stingy when it comes to conditioner, and I don't think you should be as well, unless you're monitoring what you use or you might have multiple kids, however it is. But I'm not stingy with the conditioner. I think the shampoo is stripping what it needs to, the dirt and everything, but the conditioner is what helps rejuvenate your hair. I am not a licensed hairstylist. I wish I was, amongst other things, but I have been doing hair for a long time and I'm trying to tap back into it where, I do it, whether it's for myself or family members. So as you can see, I take my wide tooth comb. It looks like I'm a little heavy handed, but with her, I make sure I'm extra soft. I like to comb through it. And this is me letting it sit. Look at how juicy that looks. So after we've washed it, I dry it. And yeah, and she loved the whole experience. So prior to starting, with braiding her hair, this is a sewing rack. I believe that's the proper term for it, but we use it as a braiding rack. It has multiple uses. So prior to even starting braiding, I like to separate the hair because it makes the process a little bit easier. It lets things flow a little bit more. So after I've done that, what I'll do is I'll make sure to part her hair and to get it prepped prior to drying. So this makes it, when you're sectioning the hair, it just makes it easier. This is sped up, so don't think I'm being too rough, but that's some tips I can give you. I know with kids, you have to have a little patience. You have to have a little patience when it comes to doing their hair, but these are techniques that you could use to make the process a little bit easier on yourself as well, not just on our little client here, but on yourself. So section the hair off, use as many clips as you can. And I don't know if you could see in the video, but I do have the clips on my jean jacket. So I don't have to reach and do this and do that. It makes it easier. So once I've sectioned it off, I'm going to go ahead and use this hair dryer. This is a really good hair dryer. I purchased it from Walmart and I like it. You know, it gets the job done. It comes with the combs and it makes it so much easier, like the whole process. It doesn't bother her. I'm always asking her, is she comfortable? You know, even though I'm the one that's doing the work, I want to make sure that my little cousin is comfortable and it's a good experience and she won't be running away as soon as she sees me and she knows that I'm here to do her hair. Some kids, sometimes we're a little bit too rough and they don't like it, or they might be tenderheaded. Luckily for her, she isn't tenderheaded, but for tenderheaded kids, which I've done their hair before, I would recommend just, you know, hey, are you okay? How are you feeling? Do you want to take like a little 1 minute break, and just to make them feel a little bit more comfortable. Now, whenever blow drying hair, I like to get a very good grip on the back. As you could see, um, she has shorter hairs in the back, and whenever braiding, I try to make sure to get all of that. After I've used the wide tooth comb, I'm going to use a smaller tooth comb where I go through it just to make sure that I'm getting everything in, and I'll go through with it again with the hair dryer. You see how I'm getting the nape of her neck? That's what I meant by that. I want to blow dry that, make sure it's really good, because when it comes to braiding, I want to make sure I'm able to grip that as well. Whatever I can't grip, I do leave out a little bit. I don't want it too tight. I don't want too much tension. Make sure that when you're braiding hair, it's not too much tension, you know, that causes for breakage. And people be trying to grip every little thing. You know, that's my personal preference. You may not agree, but I think with tension comes breakage, and then you have all these problems with hair. So I'm going to continue detangling and blow drying her hair. Look at the big difference. Look at how the straightened part or the blow dried part and the shrinkage prior to blow drying. Now, after I've done blow drying and everything is good and ready to go, we're going to part the hair. Okay, this is me trying to adjust the video, adjust my phone to record because I want to make sure you see the angles. I'm going to take my time when it comes to parting because we're going to start braiding. So how I guess you could say measure how I'm going to part is where the tip of her ear is, the upper part. I'm going to start there, and it takes a little minute for me to get the parting right. I also wanted to mention that I use minimum product in her hair. Her mom doesn't like too much product. She says the buildup is a bit too much, so I try to respect her mom's wishes and just make sure that I use minimum product as far as edge control and gels and all of that. So I just respect it and I do my best. I know a lot of other braiders will basically use product and then part. These combs are really good. I got them off of Amazon, I believe. They help with parting. So use them. If you're not the best when it comes to that, use it. Even if you are, it's a really good tool to use. So I'm going to take my time because I want to go from top of the ear to top of the ear. That's what helps me guide how I want my parting to go. So that's a little tip. Now, after I've gotten the parting exactly how I want, I'm going to take some ponytail holders or scrunchies, however you call them, and I am going to continue by greasing her scalp. So some braiders, they may say, hey, they don't want to use any grease because they just it's their personal preference. Me, whenever I'm doing hair, because I know weave is going to be used and it's going to be in a sense of protective style, the hair is going to be put away for a little bit. I do personally believe that greasing it is the best way to go. It keeps the scalp real hydrated. And yeah, it's just a something I've been doing on myself as well. So when you see I'm parting the back here, right? I'm doing this because it helps me keep the back even when it comes to braiding. You know how sometimes you'll see people and maybe they did braid their hair, they braided somebody else's hair and they're not licensed as well, and the back seems to be uneven. This is a trick that you could use because you're going to see later on in the video how I start on one side and then I go to the next side. It just keeps track of how many braids I'm going to be putting in, and it makes it for a cleaner look, if that makes sense. So I'm going to continue parting until I have the line exactly how I want it to be. You may not get your parting off the first try. It may take a few attempts, as long as it comes out looking how you want it to look. Hair is not a quick process. It does take time. So although, like I said, this did take some time because we need to take some breaks. We need to make sure she was comfortable. You just have to make sure that it comes out exactly how you want it to come out and how your client or your little client or client wants it to look like. And this is what I meant by starting on one side. I know exactly how many braids I want. I know that precision is key, and yeah, just to continue until I feel that the part is right. After parting is done, I did use a little bit of wax, like I mentioned before. I'm not going to use a lot to start the braiding process. I like to put it in the back of my hand because I'm not doing all this reaching and all of that. So that's another trick that you can use. Put a little bit on the back of your hand so it could be ready and available. And now I'm going to start the braiding process. All right, so I wanted to make sure that I got an even better angle for you. After parting, I made sure to add some of the wax to the back of my hand because I want to save my back and I don't want to do all that reaching over and everything. You have to protect yourself as well when you're doing hair. As you can see, I start off by braiding her natural hair, and I'm precise with what I'm doing, and then I'm going to add very minimal braiding hair to her hair. I'm not a pro when it comes to feeding in hair, but I have been learning. I've been on YouTube University, okay? And for those pros out there, I take, any lesson that I can from them just to make sure that I can improve my braiding skills. There's always room to grow. There's always room to learn. So never make the mistake of refusing to pick up more techniques from people. That's just a life lesson in whatever you're doing. I'm always asking her, is she comfortable? Is the hair too tight? How does it feel? And she'll let me know. And this is for younger clients, because you can even see adults, they're always or sometimes afraid to speak up to who's ever doing their hair, and they don't want to say that it's too tight or it doesn't feel good or this is not what they requested. So for the younger clients, this helps them to be a little bit more expressive when they're getting their hair done. They'll let the stylist know, hey, this is a little bit too tight and you might need to back off a little bit. I'm joking, but no, this helps them speak up and speak out a little more if they don't like it. You'll be on TikTok, you see how it's grown women crying, boohoo crying in the car. No, ma'am. I've only done that once before. I love my stylist, but it wasn't the style that I requested. And she was like, why didn't you speak up? I accidentally had sent a message to my friend, thinking I sent it to my friend. I sent it to my stylist. I was like, this is not what I asked for. And the stylist was like, hey, she was like, hey, why didn't you speak up? Why didn't you say anything? And from then on, I learned to speak up. You get what I'm saying? So just always ask, are you comfortable? Is this too tight? Because when it's too much tension on the hair. That's what causes balding, all of this. And we see that really prevalent in our community, in the Black community. You know, it's just too tight, all this. I'm not with that. I'm about hair health as best as possible. Am I perfect? No. But this is just a tip. Ask the person that you're the person's hair that you're doing, are they comfortable? How does this feel? Now towards the end of braiding this hair, I like to add a little bit of wax. Reason being, hair wax, reason being is it keeps the natural hair from sticking out. You ever see, I mean, some bad braiders, meaning good, I'm saying bad, but like some bomb braiders where they'll braid the client's hair, and it, let's just say after some time goes by, it's a follow-up or something, you'll see that the hair is 3 months old, but it doesn't look it. And you know, it's their technique, of course, but I think it's the type of product that they use and the techniques that they use. So I just learned that towards the end, you see how she's holding it, she's making sure, like, I think she did tell me like, hey, it's just a little bit, and I made sure to adjust what I was doing. But just adding a little bit of product towards the end or where the hair ends, it helps it so that there's no natural hair sticking out. And as it gets older, you know, it could still look a little good after a month or so goes by. It also depends on how, if that person ties their hair at night and all of that. But I also wanted the hair to be a certain length. I personally don't believe that hair should be too long when it comes to younger kids, you know. So, and I did know that I was going to curl the ends, and I made sure that it was okay with her parents as well, because I want to make sure that not only is she happy with the results, but that her parents are happy with the results as well, and it's not too long or anything like that. So this is me just continuing braiding, and you see where I'm in the middle right now. Later on, you're going to see I'm going to start on the other side, and I'm going to end in the middle because I want it to be a certain way. And just continue the process of braiding with the natural hair first, and then gradually adding the braiding hair. Now that I'm done with the other side, I'm going to continue on the other side of her hair and in the middle, like I previously mentioned. This is exactly what I meant because I want to make sure that everything is even and to my liking and where it looks neat. And this is the back of her hair. Look at those end results with the back. I already knew how I wanted it. And so I made sure to use a very thin rubber band, but it's enough where it won't pop or anything. And I already knew I didn't want the rubber band showing. So I just took very few braids, tied it around, and made sure it wasn't tight. I wanted to make sure the nape had very minimal tension or none at all, and she was comfortable with everything. I asked her, are you good? And she was like, yeah, I'm good, cousin, I'm good. I was like, okay, girl, okay, we getting you right. And this wasn't recorded, but I did make sure that she got like about a 5 to 10 minute break, because with recording and doing this, it did take some time. So I just wanted to make sure she was good. Now, as you can see, I'm taking my scissors, and any type of flyaways that I see, I'm gonna make sure that it's just neat. You know, flyaways, they don't make the hairstyle look good. So I just got rid of what I could. So if you know, if this is a part that you would like to do, I highly suggest it, but some might not be bothered, or they may not care. Me, I'm trying to improve my braiding skills, and that's just me showing what I'm gonna use at the end to curl the ends and get that really cute look. And so, like I said, I use very, very, very minimal product on her hair because I don't want it caked up or anything. And I didn't have a brush, so I improvised. With hair, you can also improvise. Use the back of my comb to kind of smooth it out. I don't think I asked them if they had a brush. I don't think they did, but I left my brush at home, and I did travel to them. So I was like, dang, I should have asked. But hey, you can always improvise. And this is just me parting the front. Usually I do start in the front, but this time I wanted to start in the back and get that out the way. If that makes sense. Some people like to start braiding hair and start on the front. Some start like to start braiding in the back. Me, I switch it up depending on A, what kind of mood I'm in, and B, what kind of style I'm doing. So I already knew I wanted one side to be away compared to the other one. It's a cute style that I did see online. So I was like, okay, it's not going to be exactly like that, but I know how I want it to be. So this is kind of going to be in a swoop type angle, if that makes sense. And this is just me showing you how I parted the front. Now that I've gotten the parting exactly how I want in the front, I'm going to repeat the same steps that you've seen in the back, where I start off with braiding the natural hair first, her natural hair first, and then I gradually add the braiding hair. So I'm going to repeat the same steps where I put the hair in a ponytail holder or scrunchie, and then I take some braiding hair and wrap it around because I don't want the scrunchie to be visible. I take a rubber band and make sure that everything is secured and exactly how I want it. She told me that her hair wasn't tight or anything, that it was good to go. And yeah, this is what it came out. This was the end results. I really liked it. So this is just me showing you, just an all around view. Then I take a little bit of hair wax and I get her edges. Like I said, her mom doesn't care for too much product because of how it gets caked up. But I just make sure to, smooth out the back hairs and the front hairs, her baby hairs. So this is a really good technique, old school technique, where you take these perm rods, you wrap the braiding hair around the perm rod, and then while I'm doing that, I have my water boiling. If you've seen in the beginning of the clips where I showed you, it was kind of like a white, I don't know the term, I gotta find the term for it, but I have the water boiling. I've had it for a while. I was gifted that. I'm gonna put it in the description box. Sorry, y'all. But I'm just gonna dip the hair, get it all good, take it out, and this is what it looks like. She really liked it. I think this is a really cute style for young girls, and yeah, she really enjoyed it. So if you ended up using the same techniques that I did, or you even watched up until this end, I really appreciate it. Let me know if you tried this hairstyle out, if you enjoyed my instructions. Um, this lasted actually for over a month. Um, I think she still has those braids in. I have to do a little follow up. If you want to use some mousse, you can too. Like I said, I didn't use too much doing her hair. I just made sure that I used what I had. And yeah, this was the end results. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. And I really appreciate you watching this video. All right, until next time.